You're a traitor.
Goodbye.
Welcome back to Beast Wars Wednesday!
Okay, here's the thing.
Okay.
Doug and I
Yeah.
fell into a time storm.
Yeah, as one does.
Only like 2 weeks has passed for us, but we looked at the calendar and we were like, oh my god,
Yeah, we missed New Year's.
how did we miss that and Christmas?
So, that's good. We got a lot of catching up to do.
Yep.
But I just love the idea that everyone was just anticipating our return. We have returned.
Like Batman.
So today we are talking about,
Other Victories!
yeah, Other Victories begins in outer space.
In outer space?
Like really far.
Very far, like a distant galaxy
Yeah.
that's like all orange and blue, and there's these two ghosts there. Mm-hmm. And they're
But
really
just so
upset.
you know, like, I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
And they're having a conversation. One guy's like, hey, I'm really craving pizza.
The other guy's like, me too. Do you want to order some? What do you want on yours?
It's like, no, but Skip the Dishes doesn't deliver all the way to this galaxy.
What about Foodora?
No, doesn't. It's too many light years away. Oh, you know what? We've got these two people here we can send on a pizza run. And so, to make things much more streamlined, they're like, we're going to merge them together, and then we're going to send them as a bird cat thing, so that way they can come back really quickly and it'll still be hot.
The other guy's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. What if the pizza gets cold on the way here? I think that we should go with them, and then we could just eat it on Earth.
And thus the plan was born.
Yeah.
So off they went.
But, it was actually to repair the time storm.
Yeah, there's some kind of like time. I mean, we got lost in the time storm ourselves.
So, you know what? Actually, you could probably use a little bit of repair.
So in essence, what's going to happen is, once they repair the time damage, we're going to go back in time and we're going to release the episode 2 months earlier.
Yeah. And then order some pizza.
That's a really good idea.
Meanwhile, on Earth, Megatron's like, okay, the trial of Quickstrike is now commencing.
He somehow got himself a gavel and the weird hair thing.
Yeah.
Man, he's quite into theatrics.
He is. I think the little bit of time he spent in the lava with the original Megatron Spark kind of like...
Scrambled his
Yeah,
brain.
he's getting a little bit like Judge, Jury, and Dragon. So he's into the whole theatrics, and Waspinator defends the defendant.
Yeah, and he does a really good job.
Yeah.
He's all like, I want the truth. Quickstrike is all like,
You can't handle the truth! Megatron's like, the defense rests. But actually, this is a nice touch in that Megatron's like, whatever, I'm gonna kill you because I'm done being lenient with traitors. It really did take a while for him to introduce a zero tolerance policy on traitors. It just took an oddly long time.
Well, it's the bureaucracy of the Predacon Council, you know what I mean? They gotta read it, right? And then they gotta get the reports and check to see how many times this problem has happened. Obviously there's coaching.
Yeah.
And then there's like write-ups.
You gotta use
and you can't just eliminate them right away. No. You gotta give them a chance to reform and be better Predacons. But it just wasted too much time. Finally he was like, okay, screw the board. I'm just gonna make this policy, and that's standard operating procedure now. And you know what? My hat's off to him because it really streamlines the process.
For sure. But he wouldn't mind finding out a bit of information. So he's like, so Quickstrike, tell me about Tarantulas. Why was he being a bad boy? Quickstrike's like, I don't know. So Megatron's like, well, I guess you are useless. So they're gonna kill him, but suddenly he gets saved by the bell, or is it a klaxon? The computer tells him that there's a priority alert. And you know what? To be fair, it is pretty high priority.
Yeah, there's a thing that's gonna smash into their base.
It's a space thing.
A space thing, and it can't be a comet.
No. And then he's looking, he's like, I think they're heading toward my Predacon juice bar.
Oh no. And he just got it renovated.
Yeah.
The new protein snacks, and it's got all the new types of creatine. They got creatine HCl now. So that way you're not just using monohydrate. I mean, have you noticed how buff Megatron's gotten?
He got real big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he really he almost doubled in size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the creatine.
Yeah.
And there's been an issue lately with the competition between the Maximals and their pizza shop and Megatron and his juice bar.
Yeah.
And he's been losing a lot of customers. This comet is about to crush his juice bar, and if that happens, The juice wars are over.
So yeah, anyways, the Predacons point all their guns up to space, go beep, beep,
They
beep,
raise the
beep,
shields
beep,
on
beep,
Sentinel.
Oh yeah, gotta cover all your bases, or I guess
Cover your base.
cover that one base that you have.
Was that intentional?
No, it wasn't, but it worked.
It worked really, really well.
Unfortunately, there's some radiation stuff from the comet.
Even though it's like out in space.
I'm a little unclear as to how close it is before things start to go down and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, it's not even in the atmosphere. Like it looks to me like it's still several thousand kilometers away from the Earth at the time when the Predacon defense guns, like the ordnance, are actually impacting the comet. That doesn't make any sense.
The thing is that how could they justify something going that fast, that close, and then giving Megatron enough time to escape? But they wanted to have the drama of the guns actually hitting it and doing no effect. So
maybe if they had like orbital cannons, but really, so they shoot it and nothing happens because nobody saw that coming. And then the radiation's like pew, and then they're all like, "Oh no, our shields are down. We should probably leave." And what's funny is the escape hatch is it looks like just a plate that they just dropped.
like, out the escape hatch. We don't have an escape hatch. Kick the wall open! But actually, back to sort of reality here, is that it is actually kind of a poignant moment when Megatron makes the announcement to abandon base. Like, you can see he's in a corner. He doesn't want to do it, but he has no choice.
The asteroid comet thing that isn't a comet crashes into the base. There's a massive explosion. And the dark side is literally erased. There's not even scrap metal.
Yeah, it's just a crater in the ground.
That'd be great if it hit the lava and then Scorponok and Pterosaur came flying out and they were like, "Thank God!"
And then they're
They
like,
just land in front of them.
and then
We've been there for years.
And then Tigerhawk just like lands on them and then
Just kills them. Why didn't that happen? Missed opportunities.
Missed opportunities. Hashtag missed opportunities. Tigerhawk emerges from the flames
Like some kind of phoenix.
or like some kind of tiger phoenix.
Like a hawk tiger.
Yeah, like one of those. And he's like, "Megatron, you're under arrest because suddenly we're the time police." And he's like, "Well, guess what? I don't play that game." And then
You can't arrest me. I am the law.
And then he starts a fight. But guess what? Tigerhawk ends that fight like that. He starts a little tornado, gets rid of Waspinator and Quickstrike and Inferno. He goes kaboom out of his armpit, and it knocks off Rampage and Dinobot. And Megatron's like, "It's pretty sick, actually."
And Megatron's like, his power level must be at least over 9,000. It's over 9,000!
They decide to like duke it out like real beasts. Go into beast
In
mode.
beast mode.
They go lightning and then
fire.
and then
And the judo trap and
and then out come these guns like and it's like
and then he's like although I love the scene where it's like the camera's following him and he's like knocked unconscious and he's just like boom and you just see him land on the ground. I always love shots like that where you track a falling object and then it hits the ground.
So the Maximals are at their base and they're watching TV. They're like, "Actually, this is a pretty good show. I'm into it."
Optimus Primal's all like, "You know what? This is good for business. Primal's pizza place is gonna explode, but hopefully not explode like
the juice bar exploded.
Yeah.
Because it was an actual explosion.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that prehistoric humanity loved a good pizza.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And prehistoric humanity took to Twitter immediately. They were like, hashtag goodbye juice bar.
Hashtag primal pizzas perfect.
So Optimus Primal's like, "Look, before we celebrate too early, we need to go and inspect the wreckage to make sure he can't rebuild his business. The only safe course of action is to go there himself. Have Cheetor meet him there as well, so that way they can make sure that the alien guy's not going to come back and kill him. Because we all know that once he's done with them, he's going to go to them, and he's going to be like, 'Look, I got a problem with you.
You don't have any anchovies. But they only have prehistoric anchovies, which really don't have the same flavor.
They don't.
Optimus goes off to talk with Tigerhawk because he's like, if they kill off Megatron and that kills off old Megatron, that's a bad thing.
And we need to preserve the timeline."
Yeah, as best we can because we already know it's been altered somewhat. So
The Vok know it.
the Vachno and Dad, that's why they're cheesed off. He gets there pretty quick, I guess he's got his maximum burn on and stuff like that.
Well, not before Cheetor gets there and
Cheetor's
gets
fast.
completely whooped by Tarantulas. Tarantulas is like, "Yeah."
And then he's gonna go down and do some bad things down there. He's like, I'm gonna do bad things. Optimus shows up and he's like, okay, I'm gonna wait. So yeah, Optimus goes down there and he's like, hey, guess what? Okay, I'm gonna be as vague as possible so that you don't understand what I'm trying to say. But please don't kill Megatron. But the Tigerhawk's like, but I wanna.
But it's a really bad idea.
It's not a good thing to do. And he's like, okay, well, get out of here. Then he opens the earth and throws him in and then closes it up.
It was nice of him to close it up before he hit the lava.
Yeah, that was very sweet of him. Tigerhawk's about to finish off Megatron.
Mega jerk, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Mega jerk. Mega face.
Mega breath.
Mega brains. But then suddenly these little spidery things latch on to Tigerhawk and they start electrocuting him. And he's like,
He bends over and he takes it up the tuchus.
Yeah, in traditional Predacon fashion.
Yeah.
He's incapacitated and it was Tarantulas. He's like, yeah.
I'm up to no good.
Now you're mine.
And he wants to make him his love slave.
Brings him right back to his lair.
Ties him up and everything.
Give him a little spankety spank. Meanwhile, the spark of Tigatron and Airazor come down and visit Cheetor.
While he's sleeping.
Yeah, and we get to see yet another dream of Cheetor's.
In which he gets chased by something scary and screams a lot.
Ah!
You haven't changed at all, Cheetor.
Yeah, good as new. But twice as loud. Ow. In his dream, he saw Tigatron and Airazor. He watched them smush. And then in real life, it turns out they did smush. And now they're just one spark. So he follows that, and he takes him all the way to the cave where Tarantulas is hanging out. Meanwhile, Optimus finally gets out of the hole. He's like, whew, I do not want to talk to Pterosaur and Scorponok. I'm so glad they're written off the show. And then he leaves. Wait, come back!
He just like slowly buries him and steps on it.
Because now we follow Cheetor as he's going right into Tarantulas' lair.
He goes into his hole.
And there's a lot of like spidery things, and Cheetor's like, oh, I hate those spidery things. Tigerhawk is stuck in a stasis web. Good to see Tarantulas keeping that tech around.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, guess what? I'm going to suck the alien influence out of you, and I'm going to take you as my servant. So Tigerhawk is like, you're nuts. You got to let me go because I'm mad. And Tarantulas is like, you can't do anything. I already won. And I'm sucking the aliens right out of you with my electro thingamajigger. And then it starts to electrocute him, and he's like, and then
that is a true story.
Yeah. Then the Vok come out, and Tarantulas is like, I'm insane. La 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 la. Yeah. Well, he turns around. He starts shooting because he's an idiot, and it knocks the electro thingy around. And then the Vok go into him. And he's like, and then knocks him into some like computers or like it's more like an electric, like a Tesla coil kind of electric-y thingy, and all these electric things, and him and screaming and
the Vok
and then he explodes. He explodes like a big like you're stepping on a tarantula.
And the only thing that's left is his feet.
Guess what, everybody? Tarantulas is dead. Everything's gonna explode because that's what happens when enough things start to go awry. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the kind of explosion it's gonna be. Cheetor runs in after killing off all those little spidery things. When those things are around, they just fix everything.
Yeah,
that's what they do. So now there's
like sentinels.
Nothing to fix anything. He grabs Tigerhawk. He's like, all right, let's get out of here. Diddly diddly dee. Tarantulas' lair explodes.
Optimus lands and he's like, woo! Found you.
And Cheetor's like, how'd you find me? He's like,
did you not see the
explosion? The little spark that Cheetor was following goes right into Tigerhawk. He wakes up. He's like, or is it a he?
He's a non-binary.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's the gender ambiguous Tigerhawk wakes up
with a very deep, gravelly voice.
Mm-hmm. They are like, what is going on?
That was the best impression I have ever heard.
Is it? Was it perfect?
And then he's like, yo, you want to join my team? And Tigerhawk's like, fuck yeah, bro.
By the way, what happened?
I am a bird cat. He looks completely different.
He's Cheetor, probably the ugliest guy I've ever seen in my life. And then they leave, then because they're all gonna be friends and be all up to date on everyone's business. And now there's nothing stopping Primal's Pizza Parlor from taking over.
Except maybe dun dun dun.
Megatron.
As he leers at them, he's like, And that's exactly what he says. He doesn't say any dragon quotes, thank God.
Yeah, thank the Matrix. The end. I feel like we didn't really talk about the actual story that much. we definitely took that plot summary in a very very weird direction. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a lot hungrier than when we began.
A little bit. I mean, I did sort of fill up on chips earlier.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Predacon Paul, what did you like about this episode?
There actually wasn't a whole lot that I liked about this episode.
Really? Yeah. Not a lot? Well, I mean, anything. And you can be a little thing. Anything you like a little bit.
Okay. They sort of planted a seed. You can see the nemesis sort of like in the background on one of Tarantulas' little screens.
Yeah, it's true. It's a nice little detail. It actually is something that you can only really pick up in retrospect. Like if you're watching the episode again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never noticed that before.
I do like that we see what happened to Tigertron and Air Razor.
The closure is good. I appreciate it.
I don't know if it's that good.
Well, okay, sorry. I mean, the fact that closure is there is good.
And seeing the base explode was kind of cool, I guess, as like a shock and awe thing. But I just felt like it was kind of lazy how they went about that.
The base exploding?
Yeah.
You know, actually, I kind of like that. I thought it was very poignant. Okay, so I actually like the destruction of the Predacon base. I thought it was very powerful in that.
Well, it did take out the entire base, so power wasn't a thing.
It was definitely.
It wasn't a problem.
The Predacons they've had the advantage for the whole season. Because the Maximals have always been in a very defensive position. Like the closest Maximals got to being able to get out of there was when they almost had Sentinel and then they lost it. In a moment, this great force of power comes down and completely shifts the balance of power. It is kind of a shame that it's something that was really fast. It was all done before the commercial break. So there's something kind of powerful about the fact that it was so sudden. Boom. Predacons have no more base. Sentinel's gone. They're nomads. They're going to be looking for a new base. They're suddenly on the defense. I think that's kind of a cool shift there.
They no longer have a colony.
It's true. The colony has been destroyed. And I do like the fact that they were trying to think of something to tie up the story with Tigertron and Air Razor.
It just felt a little rushed.
Yes, and that I will not dispute that for sure.
Maybe if we didn't actually see the Vok, if they just detected the alien signal and then it crashed into the base and out comes this bird cat thing, instead of them going, oh, we're the Vok, and they're just unimaginative little space squid things with like faces. The first and second and third seasons, especially this first season, went a long way to building up this like unimaginable power that is these aliens. And then we finally get to see them and there's just like this nebulous cloud disk thing spinning. And there's these two floating head squid things and they talk to each other and then they just take Tigertron and Air Razor and form them into one and then like off they go. It was very disappointing and I just felt like it did not live up to the expectation that I had built up over years of watching the show.
And that's fair, especially since when they first come to the planet, they have to take on the form of Unicron because that's the form that they could comprehend.
Yeah, the fact that they took on a form like Unicron, knowing that Unicron exists, and they take that form and use it, it shows that maybe they're beyond even him.
So you would have liked it if it started on Earth in the Predacon base and then...
Yeah, the Predacons are doing a trial and it's comedic and it's kind of goofy in the way the Predacons have sort of been played out. The inciting incident that shifts the tone of the story is the asteroid coming.
Right.
But they already built it up and they already like, oh, here come the Vok. It just took the luster and the mysteriousness away from the Vok themselves. Even knowing the name, the Vok, it just doesn't work for me. Because I'm more comfortable with them as this powerful force that can create life on a planet. When Optimus is like held in that little space seed thingy, and they're like, you've already contaminated the project, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
There's something so powerful about that sentence because all life, the entire ecosystem, the planet itself, everything to them is the project. If creating life is like a project to them and they're willing so easily to just wipe it out so that way they can start a new one, it shows just how cold and powerful and very calculated these people are. And instead, in the end, it's like, oh, the time stream has been contaminated and we must, they're having conversations in the same way we do. And there's just something very underwhelming about the presentation when they can be extracted using Tarantulas' technology. And then they explode.
This is the problem when you kind of hype something to be unimaginable and you suddenly are in a position where you need to try and imagine it. You're gonna run into limitations. Because honestly, I think the visual of the Vok is cool. They hyped these aliens up so much. What could you conceive of that would match?
I run into the same problems if I might make a comparison.
Please. Paul. Predacon Paul.
Thank you.
Can you Can you tell me this comparison?
I'm going to type this comparison.
Cool, thank you.
In Halos 1, 2, and 3, you get like subtle hints about who the Forerunners were. They were this like galactic civilization that built the Halos themselves, which are capable of destroying all life in the galaxy. They built fortress worlds that were like planets with like stars inside. They seem to last for hundreds of eons. And they're represented by these massive constructions and these mega structures that they've created. The thought of the Forerunners as a culture and as a species is just unfathomable. These were the people that, at some point were thinking about tilting the galaxy on its axis just because they could. And then Halo 4 comes along. And then you've got the Didact who can be taken out during a quick time thing. You're just like, yeah, here's a grenade. And he's like, oh, I'm done. Once you build up people's expectations through years and years and years of lore, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, here's a Forerunner. And he's every bit as frail as anyone from the Covenant, and their weapon systems are like, and like every single weapon, like they got a carbine, they got a machine gun, and they got a shotgun. It's like, well, we have those weapons too. You guys are supposed to be able to build mega structures that are like the size of solar systems, and you use shotguns.
Yeah. Well, like what's all the fuss about?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that actually opens up another thing. The Vox motivations are inconsistent in that in other voices, they were very much just going to wipe the planet out, and that was going to destroy everything. They must have had the knowledge, at least according to what I get from in here, that the Autobots and the Decepticons were on Earth.
They're fully aware of the Ark.
They must have known by destroying the planet, which they were planning to do, that the time storm would destroy everything. But in here, they seem to be almost like the defenders of time. They're like, there's disruptions. We have to make sure these disruptions in the time stream do not happen anymore. So we're going to go down to Earth and mess up Megatron. And then unknowingly possibly mess up history more by taking out Megatron and...
Which is exactly what would have happened if in other voices the weapon actually succeeded.
Yeah. Another thing I like about this, though, is I like Tarantulas. Because...
You would like Tarantulas.
I love Tarantulas. Like, he's a great character.
I think he's so annoying.
He proves himself to be intellectually superior, or at least an interesting contrast to Megatron. Megatron tries to take Tigerhawk on headfirst, fails. Tarantulas goes the sneaky spider route and has developed technology, I guess, waiting for the moment for the aliens to return. Probably been studying transmetal technologies and finding ways to incapacitate the most powerful bots. He defeated Tigerhawk
without even firing a shot.
Yeah, without firing a shot. When Tigerhawk knocked out all the other Predacons, because he's a mad genius.
He knows how to come at him laterally, not.
Because you will not be able to defeat him just taking him head on. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Okay, now that you put it that way. Mm-hmm. Okay, you convinced me.
Really? Oh, cool.
I still think he's annoying.
Oh well, I mean, this is a great episode if you think Tarantulas is annoying, because you see him killed. You see him killed very violently.
That's a huge payoff.
Yeah, like it's actually probably the most gruesome death in Beast Wars, in that he's just like convulsing, he's being electrocuted, and he explodes, and also it gives a little squash sound as if you're squashing a spider. So like boom, and that's it. That's the end of Tarantulas, and I feel like it's very fitting because he basically kills himself. He got overconfident, he went mad with power, and he was sloppy. And that killed him off.
He was also triggered. I've never seen him so scared before.
Oh yeah, with the Vok coming right at him.
His fight or flight response was just like, oh, shoot it.
Talking about payoff though, there's two things. I think that maybe it would have been more effective, even seeing the Vok come out of Tigerhawk's mouth, if we didn't see them before. And that was our first introduction to the visual aspect of the Vok. Mm-hmm. Is like he's just taken out, and then they come out, and it just leaves so much to the imagination. It's like, what the hell was that? But I think this episode would have had more impact if other visits didn't happen. I know that in other visits, Tigertron and Airraiser get sent off. If the last time we saw the aliens was other voices when they tried to ignite the planet, I think that this would have been a much more like, oh, the aliens are back, rather than something that was kind of like, well, they showed up in season 2, so they'll probably be back, because that was not the best way to send them off. There would have to be changes along the way to make it work, but I don't know, that's just something that I was thinking about, is like, man, this would have been really great if
it came full circle, at the end.
Yeah. Another thing that would have made this episode a bit stronger, again, this is just me kind of brainstorming.
Look at the lightning, it's like, oh.
Is that, a bit more mystery. Again, like how we mentioned, the Vok just kind of come down, and we didn't get that little prologue They just come down, destroy the Predacon base, and then instantly we get this emissary who takes out all the Predacons. It also would have been kind of cool if there was a bit of mystery as far as the Tigertron and Air story goes. In that we just see the sparks following. Without the little prologue of them turning into Tigerhawk, we just see the sparks following. They come to Cheetor in his dreams, and that's when we first see that it could be Tigertron and Air. And
I think if they just would have held off, and you just see the sparks, and then they fuse into one, because we'd be left thinking, well, whose sparks are those? And they're like, hang on a second, he's a bird and a cat. Could it be?
Could it be
Dino Cat?
Is just don't give all the information up front. Your audience becomes a very active participant in the episode as they're watching it when you have a lot of questions unanswered. And you
in the first season, there was so much mystery around the standing stones. Why is there two moons? Because we all knew it was Earth, or did we? And all the instances where the aliens were there, who made the energon, there were so many unanswered questions, which is why I love the first season so much.
That's true. The first season was great at just putting question marks everywhere. Like, what's the story of this? What's the story of this? What's the story of this? And I get it, that this is the end of the series. We're wrapping up. You can answer the questions right at the end, but you can have a very, very active viewing experience just by leaving questions unanswered until the end. But as it is, we were given all the information up front. Okay, aliens. Oh, this is Tigertron and Air. They're going down. They're going to try and fix the time stream. Blah, 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 blah.
The Emperor's adopted daughter!
And, oh my gosh.
Last Megatron! He's ruined my plans, and those of the Tripedicus Council as well.
The Emperor's adopted daughter?
Tarantulas' the Emperor's adopted daughter moment
Oh my goodness.
was really awkward.
It was really obvious, too.
For those of you who may not remember, that basically means that the exposition was very awkward. And
It was awkwardly forced and contrived.
It was like, that's just a bad line. There had to have been a better way to get that information out. So, it turns out Tarantulas is not a descendant of Decepticons or Autobots. He's descended from something else. The thing is, his harebrained scheme is still messed up because, okay, sure, maybe you'll wipe out the Autobots and the Decepticons, but the repercussions of which are so monumental that you have no idea what the timeline is going to be like. When Megatron was just going to destroy one Autobot, that would have left huge ripples in time, and Megatron knew that it was a huge gambit. And for Tarantulas to basically destroy the commanding armies of both sides, the universe would be unrecognizable, I think. He just imagines, okay, Arc blows up, bing, and suddenly he has a crown, and he's on Cybertron's like, I'm king now. So, after much deliberation and compromising from Predacon Paul, because, he's got a big heart.
I didn't like this episode very much.
Yeah. We're giving it 3 out of 5 Darkseid craters. Farewell, Darkseid. You were a Beast Wars staple. It's just a matter of it not really fulfilling its potential. And perhaps it is because there was no way for them to fulfill what expectations they built up. I guess, good try. Good try, guys. So let us know what you thought of Other Victories. Let us know in the comments down below. Will you miss Tarantulas? Because he won't. So don't forget to like and subscribe.
As always, tell your mom. I like that it shows that...
Hold on. Please proceed.
Okay.